In a locked prison visiting room, Ethan thought he'd meet his soulmate, until a blood-chilling scream from the hallway revealed she was hiding a secret that could destroy them both. Hey, don't forget to like, subscribe for more shocking crime stories and hit the bell icon. The darkest truth are yet to come. The rain was relentless that night, hammering against the steel roof of Crestwood Correctional Facility, a gray fortress buried in the Oregon wilderness. I'm telling you this story as it unfolded, piece by jagged piece, because some truths are too heavy to stay buried. My name doesn't matter, just know I've spent years unraveling lives torn apart by secrets, and this one still haunts me. It begins with a letter, a single sheet of paper that slipped into Ethan Caldwell's cell like a whisper from another world. But before I tell you what was inside, let me paint the scene. Ethan, 34, a man hardened by 7 years behind bars for manslaughter, staring at the envelope as if it might bite. His hands trembled, not from cold, but from something deeper. A flicker of hope he hadn't felt since the gavel fell. Who was it from? Why now? And why did the guard smirk as he handed it over? Feel like a warning. Ethan's life in Crestwood was a grind of monotony. Countless days of clanging gates, sour food, and the low hum of violence simmering in every corner. Convicted for a bar fight that ended with a man's skull cracked on pavement, Ethan wasn't a saint, but he wasn't a monster either, or so he thought. The letter, postmarked from Portland, was written in careful cursive, signed by someone named Riley Harper. "Dear Ethan," it began, "I found your name through the prison's pen pal program. I don't know if you'll read this, but I'm reaching out because I believe everyone deserves a connection no matter where they are." Simple words, but they hit Ethan like a fist. Connection? In a place like this? He scoffed, tossing the letter aside, but it stayed on his bunk, nagging at him through the night. By morning, he wrote back, not out of belief, but boredom. Riley's reply came fast, warm and disarming, asking about his days, his thoughts, even his regrets. She didn't judge his past, didn't pry into the blood on his hands. Instead, she shared glimpses of her life. A graphic novelist in her early 30s, sketching gritty urban tales in a cramped studio apartment. Her letters painted a world Ethan had almost forgotten. Coffee shops buzzing with life, neon-lit streets, the ache of solitude in a crowded city. "I'm not perfect," she wrote once, "but I think we're both searching for something real." Ethan felt a pull, like a tide dragging him toward shore. He started living for those envelopes, each one a lifeline in Crestwood's suffocating gray. Months passed, and their words grew intimate. Ethan confessed things he'd never voiced. His guilt over the man he'd killed, his fear of never being more than a number in a cell block. Riley matched his vulnerability, describing her own struggles. A childhood marked by rejection, a constant fight to define herself. "I've always felt like I'm hiding a piece of who I am," she wrote, "but with you, I don't have to." Ethan clung to that, imagining her as a beacon, a woman who saw him, scars and all. He sent her a grainy photo of himself, taken during a rare yard session, his jaw tight but eyes soft. She sent one back, a candid shot of a woman with auburn hair, freckles dusting her cheeks, her smile both shy and knowing. Ethan pinned it above his bunk, ignoring the jeers from his cellmate Marcus, who called him lovesick. Their bond deepened into something neither expected. By the 10th month, Ethan was sketching dreams of a future, maybe a cabin in the Cascades, somewhere quiet where they could start over. Riley fed those dreams, writing about walks they'd take, meals they'd cook together. "When you're out," she wrote, "I want to meet you at the gate. No walls, just us." Ethan proposed in a letter, half expecting her to laugh it off. She didn't. "Yes," she replied, sending a thin silver band etched with tiny stars. They married through a proxy ceremony, a stack of paperwork binding them across barbed wire. Ethan wore the ring on a chain, a secret kept close to his chest. Marcus warned him, "Man, you don't even know her voice. What if she's playing you?" But Ethan dismissed it. Riley was his truth in a world of lies. The prison granted a conjugal visit after a year of flawless behavior. Ethan counted down the days, his nerves fraying as the date, October 17th, neared. Riley's letters grew hesitant, tinged with cryptic worry. "I'm scared you'll see me and feel differently," she wrote. "There's something I haven't told you. Something big." Ethan brushed it off as jitters, picturing her nervous smile from the photo. He imagined their meeting, her stepping into the visiting room, the air electric with possibility. But the night before, a guard slipped him a folded note, unsigned, scrawled in block letters. "She's not who you think." Ethan's stomach churned. Was it a prank, a rival inmate's jab, or something worse? October 17th dawned cold, the sky bruised with clouds. Ethan was led to the visiting room, a sterile box with a bolted table and 2 chairs. His pulse hammered as the door buzzed open. A figure stepped in, slender auburn hair catching the fluorescent light. Riley. But her face was taut, eyes darting like a trapped animal's. Ethan stood, heart swelling, ready to close the gap. Then she spoke, her voice low, unsteady. "Ethan, we need to talk now." The door locked behind her, sealing them in. What did she mean? Why did her hands shake as she clutched her bag? And why did Ethan suddenly feel like the room was shrinking? Her next words froze him. "I'm not the woman you imagined." Confusion crashed over him like a wave. Was she leaving him, hiding a betrayal, or was the truth something he couldn't yet grasp? Before he could ask, a faint noise, like a muffled scream, came from the hallway. Riley's eyes widened, and Ethan's instincts screamed danger. What had she brought into this room? And what was waiting outside? What secret is Riley hiding, and what's the source of that chilling sound? The scream, or whatever it was, faded into silence, leaving Ethan and Riley staring at each other in the locked visiting room. "My name's still irrelevant, but as I piece this together for you, know that this moment was a hinge, swinging open a door neither could close." Ethan's mind raced, caught between Riley's cryptic words and the unease crawling up his spine. Had someone followed her here? Was Crestwood's underbelly, its guards, its inmates, stirring trouble? Or was Riley herself the danger, her trembling hands a clue to something darker? Let me take you deeper into the fracture that began to split their world apart. Ethan stepped back, his chair scraping the floor. "What do you mean, not the woman I imagined?" His voice was sharp, edged with 7 years of mistrust honed by prison life. Riley's gaze dropped, her fingers twisting the strap of her bag. "Ethan, I love you," she said, "but I haven't been fully honest." Her pause stretched, heavy with dread. "I'm transgender. I was born Ryan Harper, assigned male at birth. I've been living as Riley for years, but I haven't completed my transition." The air seemed to solidify, pinning Ethan in place. His eyes flicked to the photo in his mind, her freckles, her smile, then back to her face, searching for a lie. There was none. Only fear, raw and pleading. Shock numbed him, but questions surged. Why hide this? Was their entire marriage a deception? He wanted to yell, to demand answers, but Riley's voice broke through, soft yet urgent. "I wanted to tell you from the start, but I was terrified you'd stop writing. You became my world, Ethan." Her honesty stung, clashing with the betrayal, clawing at him. He thought of Marcus's taunts, the inmates who'd mocked his perfect wife. Had they known something he didn't? Before he could speak, another sound, a low thud, echoed from beyond the door. Riley flinched, glancing over her shoulder. "Did you hear that?" she whispered, Ethan's instincts kicked in, prison honed, senses alert. Crestwood wasn't a place for coincidences. Guards didn't just forget to check rooms, and noises didn't just happen. He moved to the door, pressing his ear against it. Nothing but the hum of fluorescent lights. Yet Riley's panic was contagious, her breaths shallow. "Ethan, I didn't come alone," she admitted, her voice barely audible. "Someone's been following me for weeks. I thought it was nothing, but—" She trailed off, pulling a crumpled note from her bag. It matched the one Ethan received. "She's not who you think." His blood ran cold. Someone knew Riley's secret, and wanted him to know too. The room felt like a trap now, its walls closing in. Ethan's mind split between Riley's revelation and this new threat. Who was out there? A jealous ex? A prison rival? Or worse, someone Riley had crossed? He grabbed her arm, not gently. "Who's after you? What did you drag into my life?" Riley winced but didn't pull away. "I don't know," she said. "I've been getting messages, texts, emails, saying they'd expose me if I didn't stop writing to you. I thought I could handle it." Her eyes glistened, but Ethan's anger flared. Handle it? She'd brought a storm to his doorstep, and he was locked in its path. He released her, pacing the room like a caged animal. The silver ring around his neck felt heavy, a symbol of a vow he no longer understood. Riley watched him, her vulnerability disarming yet infuriating. "I love you," she repeated. "And I'm here, risking everything, because I believe in us." Ethan wanted to believe her, but doubt gnawed at him. Was her love real, or a manipulation to anchor herself to someone desperate for hope? Prison had taught him to trust no one, yet Riley had slipped past his defenses, until now. A sharp buzz interrupted them, the door's intercom. A guard's voice crackled, "Caldwell, step back, we're coming in." Ethan froze. Visits didn't end this early, not unless something was wrong. Riley's face paled, her hands clutching, her bag like a lifeline. The door swung open, revealing not one guard but two, their expressions unreadable. Behind them stood a man Ethan didn't recognize. Mid-40s, suit crisp despite the rain, eyes like a hawk's. "Riley Harper," the man said, ignoring Ethan. "We need to talk." Riley's knees buckled, and Ethan caught her instinctively, his confusion spiking. Who was this guy? A cop? A lawyer? Or the shadow behind those notes? The guards motioned Ethan to the wall, but he resisted, his voice low. "What's going on?" "She's my wife." The suited man's lips twitched. A smirk or a grimace, Ethan couldn't tell. "Your wife," he said, "has a history you might want to hear about." Riley's gasp was audible, her eyes darting between the man and Ethan. "Don't listen to him," she pleaded. "He's lying." But the man stepped closer, pulling a photo from his jacket. A grainy image of a younger Riley, or Ryan, in a setting Ethan didn't recognize. "Ask her about Seattle, 2015, the man said. "Ask her what she left behind." Ethan's world tilted. Seattle? What did Ryan, hide beyond her identity? The guards grabbed his arms, pulling him toward the hallway. Riley reached for him, her voice breaking. "Ethan, I swear I'll explain everything." But the door slammed shut, cutting her off. As Ethan was dragged back to his cell, the suited man's words echoed. Seattle, 2015. What had Riley done? And why did the hallway smell faintly of blood? What happened in Seattle, and whose blood lingers in the air? Ethan's cell felt smaller that night, the walls pressing against his thoughts. I'm still here, narrating this for you, because the truth of what happened in Crestwood demands to be told, every twisted detail. Ethan sat on his bunk, the suited man's photo burned into his mind. Riley, or Ryan, younger, standing in a dimly lit bar, a shadow of defiance in their eyes. Seattle, 2015. What had Riley buried there? And why did the memory of that blood-scented hallway cling to him like damp rot? Let me take you to the end, where love and hate collided, leaving nothing but wreckage. Back in the cell block, Marcus was waiting, his grin sharp. "Heard your lady's visit got messy," he said, tossing a cigarette butt. "What did she do, break your heart?" Ethan ignored him, but Marcus's words stoked his paranoia. The prison grapevine was alive. Whispers of Riley's arrival, the guards' tense faces, the suited man's presence. Ethan clutched the ring on its chain, torn between rage and longing. Riley's letters, once his salvation, now felt like bait. Had she played him from the start, weaving a fantasy to trap him? Or was she a victim, hunted by someone from her past? The next morning, a guard summoned Ethan to the warden's office, a rare move that set his nerves on edge. Warden Lyle Brooks, a man with a politician's smile and a vulture's eyes, sat behind a cluttered desk. "Caldwell," he said, "your wife stirred up trouble. We're holding her in admin for questioning." Ethan's heart lurched. Questioning? For what? Brooks leaned back, studying him. "That's above your pay grade, but I'll give you a choice. Cooperate, or she stays in limbo." Cooperate. Ethan's mind raced. Was this about the notes, the suited man, or something bigger? Brooks slid a file across the desk, labeled Ryan Harper. Ethan's hand shook as he opened it. Inside were police reports, grainy photos, and a name he didn't expect: Daniel Voss, a Seattle club owner reported missing in 2015. The reports linked Ryan Harper, Riley, to Voss's last known whereabouts, citing a heated argument witnessed by patrons. No charges were filed, but the case remained open. Ethan's throat tightened. Had Riley hurt someone, killed someone? He thought of her letters, her gentle words, and felt sick. "This doesn't prove anything," he said, but his voice wavered. Brooks smirked. "Maybe not, but the man who visited yesterday, that's Voss's brother, Nathan. He's been tracking your wife for years, says she's dangerous, claims she's here to finish what she started." Ethan's world spun. Nathan Voss, the suited man, wanted Riley, but why drag Ethan into it? Was he bait, collateral, or something else? Brooks offered a deal: get Riley to talk, and Ethan might earn early parole. Refuse, and he'd rot in Crestwood while Riley faced whatever Nathan had planned. Ethan left the office, the file's weight like a stone in his gut. Back in his cell, a new letter waited, not Riley's cursive, but a typed note. "Tell her to confess, or you both pay." Ethan's fear hardened into resolve. He demanded to see Riley, and after hours of bureaucratic stalling, a guard led him to a holding room. Riley sat there, bruised but unbroken, her eyes lighting up at the sight of him. "Ethan," she whispered, "I thought you'd hate me." He wanted to. God, he did, but her vulnerability pulled him back. "Tell me about Seattle," he said, voice cold. "Tell me about Voss." Riley's face crumpled. "It wasn't what you think," she said. "I was 23, lost, transitioning in a city that didn't care. Voss owned a club where I worked, bartending, nothing shady. He got obsessive, wouldn't leave me alone. One night he cornered me, tried to..." She stopped, swallowing hard. "I fought him off and ran. He vanished after that. I swear I didn't hurt him." Ethan wanted to believe her, but doubt lingered. "Then why's his brother here?" he pressed. Riley's eyes darkened. "Nathan thinks I killed Daniel. He's been stalking me ever since, waiting for me to slip." The room's silence was suffocating. Ethan saw two paths: trust Riley and risk everything, or turn on her to save himself. Before he could decide, the door burst open. Nathan Voss stood there, flanked by guards, his face a mask of rage. "You're done lying, Ryan," he spat, tossing a USB drive onto the table. "Play it," he told the guard. A grainy video flickered. On a laptop, a Seattle alley, 2015, Riley shoving a man, Voss, against a wall, then fleeing as he slumped to the ground. Riley gasped, shaking her head. "That's not what happened." But Nathan's voice cut through. "She killed my brother, Caldwell, and now she's using you." Ethan's mind fractured. The video looked damning, but Riley's tears felt real. Was she a manipulator or a scapegoat? He grabbed her hand, searching her eyes for truth, but Nathan lunged, slamming Ethan against the wall. "Wake up, inmate. She's poison." Guards pulled them apart, but not before Nathan whispered, "Check her bag. You'll see." Riley's bag lay on the floor, unzipped, a glint of metal inside. A knife? A gun? Ethan's heart stopped. Had Riley come armed, planning something he couldn't fathom? As guards dragged him away, Riley's scream followed. "Ethan, don't let him win!" Back in his cell, Ethan found her bag smuggled to him. How, he didn't know. Inside was no weapon, but a journal, pages filled with her fears, her love for him, and a chilling entry. "Nathan's closing in. If I don't stop him, he'll destroy us both." Ethan's hands shook. Was Riley plotting against Nathan or protecting them? The cell block lights dimmed and a new noise, a guttural choke, came from the shadows. Marcus was gone, his bunk empty. Ethan's breath caught. Was Nathan tying up loose ends, or was Riley one step ahead? Whose blood will spill next? And what's Riley's true plan? The cell block was a tomb that night, the air thick with menace. Ethan clutched Riley's journal, its pages a maze of love and dread. "I'm telling you this now, as the final piece is full, because what happened in Crestwood wasn't just a crime. It was a mirror, reflecting the ugliest parts of us all." Ethan's choice loomed: trust Riley, or betray her to Nathan's vengeance. He flipped to the journal's last entry, dated the day of her visit. "If I die, Ethan, know I fought for us." His chest tightened. Was she warning him or preparing for sacrifice? A guard's shout broke the silence. Trouble in the admin wing. Ethan bribed his way out with a smuggled pack of smokes, slipping into the chaos. He found Riley in a storage room, cornered by Nathan, a blade gleaming in his hand. "You took my brother," Nathan snarled. Riley's voice was steady. "Daniel attacked me. I ran, but I didn't kill him. You've been chasing a ghost." Ethan froze, the video flashing in his mind. Then Riley's eyes met his, pleading. "Ethan, he's framing me. The video's edited. Check the timestamp." Ethan tackled Nathan, the knife skittering across the floor. Guards stormed in, but not before Nathan's final blow. A recorded confession hidden in Riley's bag, planted to incriminate her. Ethan played it later, alone. Nathan's voice, admitting he'd doctored evidence to ruin Riley, driven by grief and prejudice. But the real crime came clearer. Nathan had killed Marcus, silencing a witness who'd seen him tamper with the prison's security. The climax unfolded in that room, October 18th, 2:17 a.m. Nathan lunged again, but Ethan shielded. Riley, taking a shallow cut to his arm. Riley disarmed Nathan with a chair, her strength born of desperation. Guards subdued him, but not before Ethan saw Riley's truth. A woman who'd fought for her identity, her love, and her life. Nathan's arrest exposed his lies, but Crestwood's cruelty lingered. Ethan and Riley faced an uncertain future, their bond scarred but unbroken. The murder, Marcus's, was Nathan's. A brutal strangling in the shadows, detailed in a guard's report Ethan later stole. Ligature marks, a snapped neck, timed to frame Riley. As I close this, know that love can survive betrayal, but not without cost. Ethan's last letter to Riley, written from solitary, read, "You're my truth, no matter what they say." She wrote back one word. Always. Well, have you ever heard of a case like this? Comment your thoughts, that's all. For today, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.